All right, here we go. Security alert. Don't npm install HTTPS. First off, when I saw this, this is crazy. Look at this. I'm turning off alerts before one goes off. I did it. I did it. There's no alerts. Yes. 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 This makes me feel so good. Try it. Try it. Go ahead. Clap for me. Clap for me right now. Thank you, Albert. I appreciate that again. Here we go. It happened. It finally happened. I got it using technology. There goes the meme. Don't worry, it's coming back. The Node.js HTTPS module is a built-in module that allows you to make secure HTTPS hypertext transfer protocol secure requests to servers. Yes, it's built in. It's just already there. You don't need it. You don't need to install it. It provides a way to communicate securely over the internet by encrypting the data transmitted between the client and the server using SSL/TLS protocols. Here's a very simple usage of it. Require it in, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, a package called HTTPS, however, also exists on this. Oh, yes. The HTTPS package has been published 8 years ago. Looking at the package contents, we can see that it contains just a manifest file and no actual code. It looks like it looks like a simple, useless package until we see that over 1,600 other packages directly depend on it. And many more depend on it indirectly without even knowing it. This is probably a result of the maintainer not being aware that HTTPS is internal to Node and thinking they need to install it. It also has been asked on Stack Overflow multiple times. You're telling me that nobody has taken this over and at least put in some malicious code? Like minimally. You're telling me we can't even get a malicious HTTPS? It's pathetic. I was at least hoping for a Bitcoin miner or something. EBN, can you work on that? EBN and Pick. I'm going to send my Haskell boys. Go get them, okay? While I go learn OCaml, you go find that and get malicious, okay? Deliciously malicious, okay? HTTPS is not even secure. Damn. Let's see. It looks like a simple, useless package. Yeah. This is probably the result of the maintainer not being aware that HTTPS is internal to Node.js and thinking they need to install it. It's also been asked, wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. Why would the maintainers of those other packages? Yes. Nodes require will load built-in modules first. Oh, so it's not even a security problem. So even if the code would be included in the new version of the npm HTTPS package, it would never run via simple require. The danger of having HTTPS in your list of dependencies rather comes from the possibility of the package being reactivated with a new version that contains an install script. Okay, did you hear that? EBN, Pick? You hear what's going to happen here? I like that you can actually install things that you cannot use. And Node's like, yeah, that's cool. Go for it. NPM, whatever, not a big deal. You want to do that? Got it. Did you recover the Primetime YouTube channel? What? Wait, I got hacked? What? No. Wait, am I discovering right now that I just got hacked? No. No, I did not. I don't even believe you. Studio YouTube. Okay, it's still right there. Worst performing video. It's right there. I did not get in trouble. Get out of here. You guys all freaked me out. Okay, people keep on getting hacked, okay? Jerk move. I must have installed HTTPS. Oh gosh, I cannot believe this is happening to me. All right, it currently gets downloaded more than 500,000 times per week, and at any moment in the future, publishing a 1.1 version with a malicious install script would enable potential attackers access to a great number of development and build machines to steal information and install arbitrary software. Oh my goodness, please, please, somebody make a Bitcoin miner. Like, look how amazing this would be. Somebody take it over. You know, luckily with NPM, it's very hard to take things over. You know what I mean? It's very hard. The Sandstorm team has reached out to the package maintainers and authors that currently rely on this and suggested they remove it. Okay. Wow. I can't believe. Oh, cool. There's a thing called Sandworm Audit. Okay. And so it'll go through and tell you if things are dangerous. Okay. I'm actually shocked that people do this. I wonder how this happened. Like, how do you not know that HTTPS is a built-in module? So that's one. Okay, so if we're going to be real here, this is one of those things that it terrifies me about Node in general. right, is that there's just really and truly no safety ever. And then on top of that, anyone can put up stuff, right? But on top of that, there's like Node.js is like the first thing new programmers learn. And so the likelihood of them getting bamboozled is the highest out of anybody, right? You have no experience, you don't know what's available, and you just install everything that you're told, and boom. I don't know. Seems kind of terrifying. The highest. Nix fixes this. Does Nix fix this? Bamboozled as a service. This is LeftPad. I know the problem with LeftPad is that they didn't even go malicious on it, really. They just stopped doing it. I don't know what the story behind the person was. I know I've heard some various rumors, but I tend to stay off the internet rumor mill. But they just broke it, and all these every single package on the internet fell apart. I mean, if anything, it's hilarious about every package on the internet relying on LeftPad. What? Right? Why? We've already been over this on the article where on the stream, where it's just LeftPad is not even a complicated thing to write. It's 11 lines in the most basic format. It's super straightforward. It's just shocking that people go in search of a module to do just that one thing. And that there's even one. Like ColorJS, yeah, I've heard of ColorJS. ColorJS at least is pretty reasonable to want to rely on, because you don't want to be writing all those different terminal codes and everything to make stuff work out. That's totally reasonable to rely on. But LeftPad's crazy. Does crates for Rust have more? I know there's some level of, well, I mean, first off, Rust has one thing that makes it easier, which is that you go to the standard first, right? Isarray is also built in, and people still use Isarray module. See, that blows my mind. Isarray has been built in. I don't even know when Isarray appeared on the array namespace, but it's been around for a long. Yeah, the problem with JS is that the standard library, it totally sucks. There's no entry point into it, and it's just as crazy. They added a randomized infinite loop in ColorJS. Really? That's hilarious. Imagine how many people got bit by that. Oh, that would be so awful. I wonder if I use ColorJS. Huh. Yeah, there's a lot of those is odd, is even packages, all that. Anyways, it's just, to me, these are the things that seem to exist in a very dangerous way in Node.js. They're totally available also in Rust. Rust isn't somehow immune from it, but it just seems like there's less crazy packages in Rust. And what I mean by that is you're going to find, I bet you, the amount of packages actually installed and built every single day, there's probably 200 of the exact same ones constantly. And then there's a few outliers, right? Less junior developers in Rust, absolutely. And so the problems are a little bit different. NPM is just a dumping ground of all code. Yes, I know there is an is odd. Oh, I get that people put that in there. Anyways, I don't know. Node.js, huh? I think in general what this really speaks to is that we rely so much on the goodness of open source all the time. Type 1 in the chat if you are actively sponsoring somebody on GitHub right now. Type 1 in the chat. Not a huge amount. Every now and then, because, I have a slightly public figuring, and I also work at Netflix, by the way. Hey, thank you very much, Humble. Thank you. Hubert, sorry. I misread that. I was looking at the small text. Thank you for sponsoring me. Hey, baby, I appreciate that. I don't know why you just sponsor me. I'm kind of a shitty open source guy. But real talk, about once every 2 months, I get a message that's just like, hey, man, you work at Netflix, and Netflix uses this open source package. Why aren't you sponsoring them, Netflix? And I'm like, dude, first off, I'm an engineer. I don't speak for Netflix. I work on a team that works in C++, and we have we're just kind of by ourselves in our own island. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Second off, I can't speak for Netflix. Again, it's always wild that happens. It happens quite frequently, which is a little bit surprising, but what can you do? Anyways, sponsor open source projects is the moral of the story, okay? Sponsor him. I had a couple sponsors and then my credit card got stolen and I haven't re-upped it. I feel bad about that. Feels bad. All right. Hey, the name is the Primogen.